Welcome back into KC Sports tonight as we continue to break down the Instant Classic in this year's Border War matchup. We're now joined by Neil Jones and Katie Marr on the sidelines of Faurot Field. Neil, we're going to start with you. KU really came out and punched Missouri in the mouth. How was Missouri able to overcome that?
You know, at one point, it's like Missouri ceased to exist. They gave up 3 straight touchdowns in every form of their team. Special teams, defense, offense, all of it had breakdowns. But somehow, some way, they put the ball into the athletes' hands. And Mark, I think it's safe to say after today's game that Missouri's athletes are better than the KU athletes, particularly at the wide receiver and running back positions.
That certainly was something we were all looking at today. Katie, Kansas did have a strong showing in the game, but obviously didn't get the win. How do you think the team feels after this close performance in Columbia?
Yeah, the number one thing that I noticed in comparison to last year, it felt like last year when the guys would come in for post-game press conference after each loss that they would suffer, they just looked dejected, they looked defeated, they looked sad, for lack of better words to use. But Lance Leipold, Jalen Daniels, the rest of the guys, they came in just obviously frustrated that they didn't win. They wanted to win, but they didn't look like this was the end of the world. The world wasn't caving in. Lance Leipold actually talked a lot about how he saw a lot of positives within this team, and they know that they have work to do. This game showed them what they have to work on, and now they can use that on this bye week and get ready for Big 12 play.
Yeah, I bet both teams feel like they have a lot to clean up. Neil, big picture here, what does this win mean for Missouri?
Well, think about it. Beau Pribula, who we all heard, oh, this is a kid who can run a little bit, but we don't know if he can execute the passing game. He comes out and throws. He completes 30 of 39 passes, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he did it under pressure, and he did it after having that terrible cough up the football moment, which set up KU for that touchdown. I'm telling you, I come away thinking he is good enough to win in the SEC. This football team is good enough to win 10 games. They answered a bunch of questions for me today.
Yeah, certainly a favorable schedule this year for the Tigers as well. Katie, last question for you. Obviously, as we said, not the result KU wanted, but did this result and their performance change your opinion of how far they can go this year?
No, the number one thing that stuck out to me about this game was that KU was competing. They were in the game the entire time. They were up 21-6 at the end of the first quarter. They said afterwards, you know, they knew it was going to be all about momentum. So never on the sideline were they like, oh, we're safe, we're up 21-6. No, they knew that Mizzou was going to make a comeback, which obviously they did, but they never hung their heads about it. And then when it comes to the bigger picture, which is Big 12 play, it's a clean slate now. You know, when it comes to winning the Big 12 title, what you do in non-conference play doesn't matter. So they've exposed some serious issues within this team. The run game, for one, was really bad, obviously, for KU, and they know that. So they're going to go back and they're going to work on that. They were outperformed by just some better athletes, as Neil was saying. But this is, I think, a really good Mizzou team. I don't think they just lost to a bad team. They lost to a really good team, and it was a really close game. So that's a big sign of confidence going into conference play for me.
Neil, I'm going to sneak in one last question for you. Obviously, KU and Missouri have not played in a long time. Do these two teams need to play every year?
Look, if you saw, I talked to both athletics directors on the field, both before and after the game, and they agreed that this is something very special. It's what you try to get your fans to buy in on every game. You want to get them to that spot where everybody wants to be there. Well, they've got this matchup. Yes, they need to play it every year if they can make it happen. I want to tell you something. This was unlike anything I see. They added fans to the student section. They had to add on to it because they had so many students who wanted to come. They played Mr. Brightside, which features that anti-KU chant. They didn't play that once. They didn't play it twice. They played it 3 different times. I saw little kids singing the anti-KU chant. This was a much bigger event than it was a football game. It's something I don't think I'll ever. I've covered the Border War a bunch. I've never seen it this intense, with the possible exception of the 07 game, which was going to lead somebody to a chance at a national championship, we thought.
Hey, Neil Jones and Katie Marr, they are our boots on the ground. Thanks, guys.